Hi everyone. So I got a question from a student. She's having trouble researching the causes of racism for Essay 2. So I'm going to help her out. I haven't done this yet. I want to see what's there. So let's go to our databases, A to Z. And I'm not really sure where to start with this. So I'm going to look through my subjects. Wow, it's a lot of subjects. Um, let's see, causes of racism. Racism would be something that people do. It's definitely in their brains. So I'm going to try psychology. So psychology articles are really good for analyzing people's motivations, why they do things, what happens when they do things. And all of these databases are possibilities. But I'm going to choose this one, psych articles. And then I'm going to type in causes of racism. And let's see what we get. All right. So this first one, I'm not sure the student is doing the racism of Black and Latinx people. I think she's talking about white racism. So I'm just going to make that assumption. So that article is not going to work for me. Racism in health, that would be an effect of the problem. So that's not going to be a good article for me. Let's see. I'm not sure what that is, so maybe I'll come back. I don't know. Policy recommendations for addressing racism, so that might be for solution. I'll keep a note on that for Essay 3. Ooh, hang on. Racism on the internet. Now I'm wondering if all our social media doesn't spread racism. I wonder if racism on social media or in chat forums could be a cause of racism. So I'm going to check that out. All right, this looks like a nice dense article. So I'm going to prepare myself. And before I invest a lot of time reading, I want to take a look at what they're doing here. So it says, racism continues to thrive, commonly. So they're just characterizing racism in online settings. Now we might find some good quotes we can use. Let's see. First, let's say why. So I wonder if they tell us why people are racist. In summary, online anonymity helps explain why racism, especially direct and explicit forms, is more common and persists on the internet compared with offline settings. Increased anonymity on the internet or online anonymity gives rise to several attitudes that could foster racist representations in online settings. That to me sounds very much like a cause. So what I would do is pull that quote out. I would make sure I put quotes around it, put a parenthetical citation, grab my citation from this article, MLA, and copy and paste that in my research log so I don't lose it. Okay, so there's one. Yay! Let's see. So racial trauma and substance abuse, that sounds like the result of racism, not, these are consequences of racism. Impact, consequences. Ooh. Oh, that's a tool racists are using to perpetuate racism. So we could say the opioid crisis is being used by racists to spread or continue racism. Might come back to that. Hmm. Engaging white participants in racial dialogues. I might find some good quotes in here. Let's see. Maybe they can tell us why we have so much racism. That article is not working. Oh, so PDF's not working. So I'm going to click HTML full text. Work. Yay! So this version works. So let's see. And before I read the whole thing, I might go through and see what we've got. Hmm. Oh, this is interesting. This is an interesting paragraph. So this isn't really directly about racism, but it is talking about how when you're trying to have a dialogue with white people about racism, certain white individuals will refuse to participate, which means we can't solve it if people won't engage. So I'm going to keep that in mind. Maybe I would put that in my research log to come back to later. But really, I was hoping for some quotes to find if they had these participants' quotes in here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's look at outcomes. All right, it says participants in the mixed race groups were more likely to share their honest thoughts in response to the Black Lives Matter discussion. This contrasted with our hypothesis. We expected white participants to be more honest in same race groups. However, it appears that structuring the dialogue was only helpful when the racial composition of the group was mixed. Now that's interesting. What that's suggesting is white people will talk about racism with other races, but they won't talk about racism with other white people. And this reminds me of an article that was just published about how white parents, they don't teach their children about race, and this seems to back that up. That's an interesting one. I'd like to think about that some more. Okay. So I don't know if those are useful to that student, but I did want to show you sort of how I would go about solving this problem. Ooh, this might be another one that might have quotes from students who either are or are not racist. So I might look at that as well. A lot of articles on the effects of racism, not a lot of article on the causes of racism. I wonder if that itself could be a cause too. All right, everybody, I'm going to pause there before I bore you all to death. Thanks for watching.